kuwa sa leutal tu na kena mga fancy sa sa tama na kena camp ni dala ko na wanga na inta island ko lang tungo na noodles sa favorite sa tunga sa lawa ko birna ko na sa kanya mamada yan all processed food kaya
the processed food, it comes with a high level of salt to preserve. So when it says processed food, but na salt condition to preserve that food to be what it is, and on the amount of salt that is being placed in to maintain and retain that whatever it is. It can be sausage, pre-cooked sausage, it can be tin meat, tin tuna. Anything that is being processed to be maintained and used as it is, salt is part of that equation. And then you say about the noodles because of the flavor. And
the flavor is a lot of salt.
A lot of salt.
And
then you say, they're even eating it raw. So my youngest granddaughter, she's only 3 years old. She loves the noodles and she loves it with a little bit of soup. But sometimes she'll stand there, I want noodles like no water, I want noodles dry. Which means we have to open the pack of Raijeli, open the flavor, put a little bit in it, and she's eating it dry. It's not healthy, and even myself, I'm eating it. I like that taste. Salt is very challenging. I don't think salt is a challenge that makes the processed food what it is.
And also, it's not healthy, because it's been stored for quite some time, and for months or years. And that's why eating back into our backyard, like the bell and boil, maybe it does not taste good into our mouth, but it's very healthy into our body. So it's a challenge because of the urban drift that every one of us, sometimes when you go for evangelism and you eat a new roro Vulaono and you check the Vulaono, it's no longer what we used to know that you put the shrimp inside. Now roro Vulaono.
Which is good.
And rakinin bula kita sa bula kita na bula ni Bisaw. Bula ni Bisaw. Sa totoo ko na Bisaw, yan sa Bisaw ko sa Bisaw tataltunga, the life ceiling is really reduced. People are dying. Ang daw sukat ko na biya kami. Bingaw na kaya suki na biya kami. Sa ang ausis tama nga, ang una ni COVID. Doon ang unang leka-leka ko, bali lakot ko na lewu ni bimbulo na kami. Kaya bali na ba lima na on nakaloko, nakauti ko na sa asin do baya iliw. May wati no COVID, may dengue walilay, mo ba dilaw tal. Kaya bali lewu tal ko na matendoles, mate sengan ni namaki, turang kini marama dorbo kini manilawa, all to do with our lifestyle. Ni ko reda nga nakakana mo kanya mo binaka, kina lifestyle mo mulataka, do talango na numumode. Momode do nakado tukuna ba lebu na nito bunwa yung mga matawale Dr. Om chungori kinoya na Jackson lebu kinoya do tukuna ba when you sleep tolu na yamo ndo tolu na awa na repair gay tolu na awa na kenawa mga mabo 3 hours of repairing and 3 hours of healing kaya bali weekend na barong tumay na matagan ising din daya and a family table talk so nanguna na ala ko tunganyo pa usi binangonongo nanguna ni ang unang beka isang beka ni Don Nerana ang unang baka Italia kaya sa lakongan ng songo sa lakongan ng lasa sa lakongan ng biwakani wakanda sa sinikawita ka nakini bula and doon may discipline ko noon dang bula kada kaniya kabago siwi na kada token na may mga maninitaki balata ni total to na January February na do tal na bagibo sa tukina ng mole-mole menda ng garap kinababi na kanaytabi.
Well, that's all about budget and health living guidelines. If you're already doing it, congratulations and thank you for looking after your health and looking after your family and looking after your life. For the remaining minutes, I want to bring to the table on relationships. Relationship as husband and wife, relationship with your family, because for the month of December, that is going to be challenged in the fact that everybody, would like to do whatever they want to do. And sometimes we actually go as silos or different people and we forget about the responsibility, your accountability to the family that you belong to. So wherever you go, if you're going on your own, remember you have a family for children. If your parents or grandparents trust you where you go, remember you're accountable to your grandparents or you're accountable to your parents. There should be a sense of responsibility as and where you go, and there should be a sense of responsibility and trust where wife and husband or spouses involved. So with the remaining last minutes, I would like to bring that to the table. And I was reading through an article yesterday and come across, this is a U.S. article to say the high rate of, marriage breakups, divorces that happen. And this article actually write out or list out some of the reasons why that happened, or the reasons from the woman or the reason from the man that make that happen. And I would like to bring it to this table because it's really good to know. Sometimes your ring, after getting married, you think that's it, and you don't work on your marriage. Your marriage is already done deal. You get married, you have the ring, you have the offspring, the children, you have the responsibility, the house, and what comes with it, and that's it. You're like booked for life or doomed for life. And then you forgo the fact that there is a relationship that you need to work on, and there is a relationship to your children that you need to work on, and there is a combined effort relationship of the one you have with your spouse and also with your children to make your family work. And that is a responsibility. It has its own accountabilities from every individual player. It's not a one-man game or it's not a one-woman game. Everybody should make it happen and know their responsibility and be told of their responsibility as well. So even as they stray away or when they do come out from this setup, they will always be convicted that they have a responsibility or an accountability to a setup, which means whatever they do, they'll be guided by this. But with no accountability, no responsibility, no discussion whatsoever, then you are doing what you're doing, and it leads to a lot of marriage breakup. Go back to the article that I was reading yesterday, and it says one thing that really stick out as I read was the irk moment. I don't know what is the actual pronunciation for it. It's ICK. It's the ick or irk moment. The irk moment of some men and women on how they couldn't stand their spouse. And those are the things, when the friends and their family look in, nothing was wrong with it. But the very person that are living with these people, that find those moments, it can be small in the eyes of the man looking in, but it's something huge that is affecting their relationship. And it's like a turn off to their marriage. And those are the little things. And also, most importantly, you must be content. You must be content. And doon na kaya, o binakatikenda, menda na rongoda, menda na rimente kikenda, diko sa vakawati, reda na watimu ge kawiko, I am content. Because when contentment is not there, you're always looking. You look there, you look there, you look everywhere. And if you're not in church that you are guided, you don't look everywhere and look after your wife, then you are staying in. And even some of us, you are in church, you're still looking around, and like what I said, what I'm sharing today, it's not for people that don't go to church, it's for people who go to church, it's for people, for humans. It's for everybody. Because even people who go to church who knows there is a sin to commit adultery, but yet, because of this discontentment, I would say, that they go looking elsewhere for all these things, they break up their marriages. So we are not talking about the organization, we're not talking about the contributing factors, we are talking about you. So you as a person, I as a person, he as a person, you as a person, which means you need to look within you. Don't worry about the whole family, don't worry about the organization you work in, and don't worry about the church you attend. Just look within you. And you look within you and look at your wife, look at your husband, look at your children, look at your family, and you must get that answer. Do it today or do it tomorrow. You must do this. And say to yourself, I am content. I am content. God bless you with 4. Or God bless you with 2. Or you'll be blessed with 5. While most families, they're still praying for 1. But you are blessed. So when you look at that setup and then you say to yourself, I've managed to buy a house. Or we've managed to stay in this place. Or I've managed to buy a car. So look around just for you to find that contentment in your heart. Because I guarantee, once you find that contentment, then you will say to yourself, I am good. Eleven na kain na kabatiko, eleven na vivala, eleven na duindui, eleven na vimbiu, elago chukuma imbelete kenda segani, and the segani content. E segani da kabikenda sarota. And the segani rani karana nondambula, vinakabalibu. Au marota ka na bikai tiko na nongumbula. you are ungrateful and you are not content. And you are always looking out and always finding fault in people around you to justify your errors or to justify the things you do. So look around you and say, if you are content, then if you are content and you love your family, then make them to be the priority. Which means if you socialize for 7 days in a week, keep 3 days for your family. Undivided attention. Let the other days for them and keep these 3 days or 4 days that you can commit to, that you dedicate it to your family. And they get your undivided attention, and every child of yours receive from you. You have a good conversation with them, and you can talk to your husband or you can talk to your wife, and you can have that quality time. And because if not, when you are discontent, you're always looking out. You're always looking out. And most, I may be wrong, but most I see for some men and women, they're always looking out, even though they have it right there in their family. It's all there. You have a beautiful wife. You have a beautiful, a handsome husband. You have beautiful children and very obedient children. And not the kind of children you're always looking out the driveway for. You're going to the nightclubs, checking where they are. They are very obedient children. You have it good. But yet, you are looking out. You're looking out for attention from another woman. You're looking out for attention from another man. Why are you looking out? Can't you be content with what you have? Can't you embrace what you have? Because what you have, it's a prayer request for another. What you have, somebody is desiring to have what you have. But yet, you're not content. So I want to bring the conversation into this forum because nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to even bring the topic out, because with this kind of topic, it involves everybody. It involves head of churches like us. It involves head of communities. It involves turangan ni Vulaono and the wili kevit kukin. Kiko mani turangan ni Vulaono, se ko minister ni na mate nito, se ko mani may bilu tagisaran do na sogolotu. Nakakiri go kenda kobuti kerekina. Esenga nindo me kaibango. Oko liu ni sogolotu ya. Menda na noma. Oko no na matubale endondono esenga nindo na kailenga kina. Esenga nindo na sa itumba. Esenga nindo tala na kainga roba itumba. Oko sa vakadengu. Sa roti kwa ya. Sen. Ada bira na lilu ni sogolotu. Ada bira na tala ni sogolotu. Ada bira na tala ngase ni sogolotu. Ada bira na minister. Ada bira ni tutulele na bono ni bi daka. Ada bi kenda na tiko ni bono tani. So we can the saletiko sa tu may vale tu may vito na batinda. The saliba watital ko katiko. It's none of my business, but I'm making a mention because when you don't find that contentment and you don't have that trust, then we are doing what we are doing, and there is the picture that we are seeing. And this is the thing that people don't want to talk about, but I always want to, because I realistically want to talk about practical things. I don't want to be saying good things when you know good things are not there. And we don't want to pick on these things because you know that this is the very thing that is breaking up marriages and separating couples. Couples can be staying together, but they are not bonded the way they are supposed to bond. You are living together for your own reason. Kada sa tu batu nga balin tu nangone tu na makumbunda tu na itabi mendangarava sa sayali ko na kaenda enda sota making. Eza babuna na yali ni kaenda sota making. Balatangona na ndindui, balatangona na buki nimbula enda may imbula taka. Kote levi na trust, kote may a lot of betrayal because you feel so betrayed by the person you really love. You gave all that you have, and once you betrayed, it's like you close up. You don't want to go through that process again. So there are a lot of issues that are affecting families right now, or relationships, that you are trying to cop the flack of what happened. So that we can realize say tumba, but it's still, it's still there, lurking in every conversation. When you really reach to a momentum, it's always a point of reference that you're always bringing back the past. Because even though you're forgiven and even though you say, moving forward is the best way to go, but you cannot erase it. It's always there. It's lurking behind you. And these are the things that is contributing to a lot of, dissatisfaction within couple. And that is why, like I'll mention it again, according to the stats in the papers, the high rise of prostitution on the roads here in Suva And the clientele, I mean, these clients, they are not single men. They are married men. And these are married men that have wives at home, that have children at home, and not married men that comes from the plantation. They are married men that comes from high office. They are married men that can think for themselves. They are married men that have, IQ level and mentality to even tell them that what I'm doing is wrong. But because of that discontent, because of that, dissatisfaction, or for whatever reason, then that is happening. It may be happening in the obvious that they come and pick up girls. But even in the relationship, as we have at home for those, for us who are churchgoers. And I know, like within the church that we look after, I address this during our leaders training, which is every Monday. For those of you who belong to the same church as we do, I always bring the family matters up every Monday to speak on it. Because I always feel the church is not there to save us. You are there to do something to save your marriage. You don't just come and hide in the church and expect the church to save your marriage. No, you need to. Because even within the blanket of the church, we still have extramarital affairs happening within the church. So that is why I want to bring you to this forum, as we have only 5 minutes left, to be, provoking idea to you, to have it at the back of your mind. If your relationship is good, then congratulations. If your relationship is otherwise is on rocky, ground, then you need to find out why. Why is it on rocky ground? And talk about it on how to fix it, and stop doing what you're doing when it becomes ICK moments for your partner. And amazing, I mean not amazing, it was really, for me, hilarious just to read some of the ICK moments or the earth moments. It's like, this woman says, everything about my partner is good. My family loves him. My friends, they love him. And he's good looking. He's got everything that anybody ever wanted. But what puts me off, every time we have our meal, he's blowing his nose. And every time that we go and we're standing in front of everybody, he's blowing his nose. And sometimes, like for me, every now and then I'm dabbing all these things. It may be irritable to somebody. But those are the little moments. And sometimes you grind your teeth. I mean, it's about you. It's about you. And you feel comfortable with it. But you don't know. It becomes the ICK moments for your partner. Or you're burping in the wrong moment. And you're burping at the wrong time. And all those things. Like, it can be one of those things that it doesn't matter. But reading the article yesterday, then it really, made me realize, why these are the things that are unspoken of. We don't want to talk about it. Very little, very minute. And I would say, like, not even there. But they contribute to marriage separation. They contribute to dissatisfaction in marriage. And they may be considered little, but those little things matters to a marriage that I want to bring to the forum today. And
most of the time, those little things you don't recognize when you two first met. It was there all along, eh? But as you move on, years, 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20 years, all those things, they become a mountain to you. That means your level of unity, togetherness.
Sometimes it wasn't there. Like
sometimes it was not there, and sometimes it was there. But see, love blinded us. When we love somebody, every negative, everything that is not right with everyone.
In the beginning, because you can't stay blind all the time, eh?
Yeah, but as you move along, all these things becomes very irritating. And because the passion is gone, the love is gone, as you said, we are only attached because of the family, the children, responsibility. But the love is no longer there, the holding of hands. That's why the speaking of, when you're content, you speak good things. Because nobody is perfect, nobody is 100%. So when you continue to speak good and try to be good all the time, at a level of or snub those irritating things that are, some of us we are not patient enough to accept things are happening with our children. We speak to our children and our children is not following, even though your children is even better than you. But because we don't have that the unity, the bonding. I mean, it's a attack. It's not only in America; it's right across.
Whatever that we're talking about now, it's not not condition to a nation. It's like globally.
Globally,
Because every relationship, it's like every humans globally, regardless of the country that they live in.
I was reading, the climate change. Even the climate change contribute to all these things. This is a change of environment, the change of mood. What we used to enjoy before, it's becoming, there's a changing thing going on.
Yeah.
So when you brought up, or when we bring it up in churches, in leaders training, or in the village Turani Koro, all these things, when we put it on the table, then it's good to talk about it.
Yeah.
And then we are reminded, kero sa officer kami na muna kero ati kebukina, kero tikibu, kero sa bilomani. Yang ko sa balam tu nila ko, maka kero sa we can't stand one another.
Yeah, I think moving forward, it's not the matter of can't stand one another. We can generally say that we can't stand one another, but we need to ask ourselves, what can you stand? What can you take? And why do you say that you can stand one another? And that takes us back to the ICK moments. There are certain things, like you as a spouse, or you as a husband or a wife, you should know what your husband likes. And as a husband, you should know what your wife likes. Sometimes you have a conversation, I don't like when you do it, when you do that. I don't like it when you say that, because that's the closest relationship that you can ever have. Closest relationship, a husband and a wife. You can be yourself, you can be your worst moment, and you can be your goodest moment. Whatever moment that you live in your life, I would say marriage is so special that it's created by God, that you can be yourself. Yeah, you can be yourself. I mean, I can be my very worst to him, and I can be my very best to him. I can do, I can say, and if I don't want to talk to him, I don't want to talk to him, I'll turn the other way, and he can be talking to the wall. Or if we are driving, I'll look the other way, and he'll be talking, it's like he's not there. Those moments. And you cannot do that to anybody else, but you can only do it to your partner. And if you minus your partner from the equation, well, you're well out, because you have to do it too. You can do it to your children, you can do it to your grandchildren.
That's why the marriage relationship is very special, because, as you said, you can be yourself. Yeah, you can be yourself. And sometimes it's irritating, It's just irritating. Well, with that said, now that you can be each other, you can be whatever you are to each other. So try and know and remember what works and what doesn't work. There are moments of your life, it's irritable to your partner, and you know what's irritable to you. And try and be matured enough and be serious when you discuss these issues. Remember them. Remember them and don't do them. Don't do it. But on the radio, kenda naturanga, lemon na bikimini naturanga, lemon na ranga. So tabi kenda na marama, lemon na nonda ranga. Ninda lako ni bango kenda sangule da mandanga, na da banda bindin na titaka, na da banda bibasta kitak. Da vose ke ranga ke biwali ke. Ya menda kila tiga sona kai ko da kabachikongori, e mosi chiko kena na elo iwatimu. E na small tipo tu da kitu samu, e really okoya. Niko da kabachiko mo ba vitali okoya tu da kitu samu. So sona kala lai waya. If I want to, no, I can speak it out. No, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't like that. You make me look stupid. Or say, so we can das in the vosa, but at the end of the and you can't say it out, and then you keep it within you. You could send me marretu, mosinello, tangi. Kaya dola kaya wala sararanga malaki valley. Se sararanga molako. But there's no forum. You can't say it out, but it's eating you alive inside. And for you, husbands who are listening today, try and be loyal to your wives, and know what works, and know what makes them happy. Especially so if you have your wife just staying at home, to make it work for you. And you come home. You still bring your friends, you still socialize with your friends, you still go out with your friends, and you have your wife at home, just overloaded and overwhelmed with the responsibility in looking after the children, looking after the house, preparing your meals on your moments of in and out, and jumping at the call, whenever you say, can you do that, can you do that, can you take that, can you pick that, can you pack that? They become like a slave or an errand girl in your house other than the wife that they're supposed to be. And sometimes we do it because like back to what I said, you can be yourself to them. Nobody else knows your, whatever that you do apart from your wife. You can be your good moments, your bad moments, your screaming moments, shouting moments, your swearing moments, and all those kind of moments. And no one else you do it to but to your wife. And without you realizing, it's adding up stress. It's taking its toll.
imagine for years of your marriage and the same treatment that they get. You think that's going to help them? No, it will not, because they don't have any other place or platform to vent out whatever that they're going through. If they go to their friends, does she really hang out with her friends? To be able to vent out, to say it out. I mean, and why I'm bringing it to the table, because sometimes we have a lot of plans for our family, and most of the times we don't really work on our relationship, and most of the times we bring hurt to our relationship because we are so selfish. You are selfish in wanting other women to be attracted to you. You are selfish in getting them to like you. For what? For what reason? Yeah, for what reason? Why are you getting them to like you? Ask yourself, for what reason? The women in your office, for what reason? What reason do you want them to like you? If they respect you as a worker, if they respect you as a supervisor, if they respect you as a manager, then there is a line that they, demarcated. That's the area only that they have, and the area that they should have to describe the relationship that you have. And not just getting them, winning them to like you for no reason at all. Because you are not content with what your family is offering. You want to be the main boy to everybody, out there, to be the person. For what? For what reason? What do you get? And these people that you're trying to impress, they have their families. They have their life. Yeah, you can have them maybe in the window of 30 minutes, or maybe in a window of 1 hour in a week, or maybe in a window of as and when you meet them, but they have their lives. They have their families. They have their responsibilities. And the people that you're trying to please, the people that you're trying to win over for no reason, have their own lives to go to. And by doing that, and you get carried away to attract them or entice them or ranga-ranga to them. The very people that you're doing that to, and the things that you are doing, you lose out on the very family that you have without you knowing. Why are you doing that? Because you have a stable family here. You have a good wife that looks after everything. You don't need to worry. And it gives you the opportunity, your opportunity, bad opportunity, for you to do whatever you want to do. And you want to take best of both worlds. And I think that it's very unfair to do that. And if you're a man doing that, I think you should stop. Because if you continue to do, and then the very minute you turn around, then the very family you're relying on, they're all gone. And they'll tell you, good luck. Look after yourself now. With the very thing that you're trying to go and entice other people, then bring them to come and look after you. And that goes to men and women who are doing what I'm sharing today. So be content with your family. Be happy with what God has given you. And there are little irk moments. Work through that. Tell them. I don't like it when you do that. Can you stop doing that? Can you stop grinding your teeth, please? And to them, because it's like a normal way, or grind the teeth, or normal chicken, but they are humans. But tell them, don't be angry or don't resent them without telling them. Tell them, Kavir, stop doing that, it's irritating. Or stop doing that, it's irritating. Sometimes I do things, maybe it irritates him because he doesn't tell me, and then I'll tell him, are you okay with this? Or, I'm sorry, I always do this. Because I do irritating things. And because I'm a chatter, I'm a talker, I can say irritating things, and I address irritating things. And if I do irritable things, I will say it as well, and I'll be quick to say apology, and I'll work on it. So, making a marriage work, it's a communication. Speak to each other, talk to one another, most so for December. So we can do December. No, it's not a way to go. Love your wife, love your husband, tell them the truth, hold their hands, tell them which to go. And if they continue to do what they continue to do, and they know fully well it hurts you, then you need to tell them and challenge them. Why you continuously do the very thing that hurts me, the very thing that makes me sad, and you continuously do that. So don't lie to tell me that you love me, because you continuously do the very thing that hurts me. So talk about it, discuss, and be a man and be a woman enough to speak to each other face to face and talk about these issues. Don't wait for you to go separate ways and divorce. Don't wait for the High Court to do your ruling or to define your moments of your family. You fix it now. Every marriage is fixable. I've been reading the papers this week. And I know there is an emphasis. I don't know, maybe it's a week, the violence week. A lot of women are sharing, women pastors and women in leadership. They're sharing about this abuse, women that are living through domestic abuse. So, and they were offering help. The Salvation Army, there was a family saved by the Salvation Army on how they just called out the woman, kept on being beaten up, even up to her death, nearly dying. And they, called for help. Salvation Army took them on. And this whole week has been a coverage of stories of saving the lives of the women that are going through abusive relationship, or saving the women and their children from abusive husbands and father. And it has been the core of this week. And we would like to round up with that. If you know that you're going through all this abusive relationship, look, don't wait until it takes your life. Don't wait until it's fatal. Look for help. It can be to the church that you belong to. It can be to organization like we've put up in the papers, the Salvation Army, the Lifeline Corps. There are facilities that are there to help you. Don't be quiet and wallow in until you die. Stand up, be counted, and look for help to keep you alive and also keep your family alive. Well, that's it from the Family Table Talk that I want to round up today. I'll give this moment to Mr. Vulaono to say the closing moments before we finish this program. And we'll see you again next Saturday at 7:30.
Well, marriage is a partnership.
Yeah.
It takes two person. If he fails, both of them fails.
Yeah.
We can't blame one another. And because if we continue to blame one another, it will can't work. So we encourage those of you that have been calling before. Normally a woman calls,
right.
But now men are also calling of the abusive relationship. Sometimes men used to abuse the wife, but today women too are abusing their husband. So it's there, it's workable. We will finish with what the Bible says. If God does not build a house, then we will work in vain. If God does not watch the city, then we will watch in vain.
Yeah.
So we encourage you until next week on our Family Table Talk. May you have a family blessed weekend this week.
Thank you, Lord, for today. Breathe on the program of Breath of the Living God. Allow the lives that are out there, Father, to be encouraged. And thank you, Father, for Tangas Mau. Thank you for Tangas Shabedi.
A family is an epitome of God's love towards mankind. God designed us to live in families, and the Bible reveals that family relationships are important to Him.
But as a believer, do you feel that you are still struggling?
Maybe you're still struggling with your relationship,
Struggling with your finances?
struggling at work,
With your social life?
or with your spiritual life.
We invite you to join us
On our Family Table Talk every Saturday,
at 7:30 a.m. on my TV.
or catch us on our Facebook page.
Years may fly and tears may dry. Jesus still loves.
Having second thoughts, not sure your child will sleep, Kimberly is here to serve you.
Girls will be billeted at Silver Methodist Primary School, boys at NSC Primary School. We are grateful for these two schools for giving us these classrooms.
Children's accommodation will have round-the-clock supervision with interchanging rosters of 6 groups.
Take back memories with you. Together they will learn independence, self-reliance, and respect for others. We will give all children a sense of responsibility within the safe environment by encouraging them to try new adventures.
Your children's safety and security is our top priority. We will make it a home away from home. There is a youth symposium happening this December. Not sure of the movement of the youth during the week? There will be shuttles provided from the billeting area to the Vodafone area. We have partnered with Raiwanga Buses, Sakrin Buses, and So Buses Limited. To provide these services, bus monitors will be on each bus to supervise the youth's movements to and from the venue.
There are many incidents happening around our country. We have dedicated our time to see through the safety of the children attending this event. A big winner valuable to the bus companies for their support and assistance.
Parents and guardians, send your children to these events. We are ready for them.
Morning,
2023 goal.